All right, today we're diving into something really special. It's an explainer on a unique youth empowerment program based on the principles from the Ruhi Institute's 5th book, and it's all about unlocking the absolutely incredible potential of young people.
But before we get into the nitty-gritty, let's start with a question for you. Think about it. What's the most powerful and maybe the most misunderstood stage of human life? You know, that time that's just overflowing with energy and idealism, but we often just write it off as difficult.
Yeah, if you were thinking of those early teenage years, you've hit the nail on the head. And what's so amazing about the philosophy we're exploring today is that it doesn't see this time as a problem to be managed. Nope. It calls it the springtime of life. I mean, how beautiful is that? A season of just incredible growth and potential. So, that beautiful idea of a springtime brings us to our first big point. Because let's be real, spring isn't always just calm and sunny, right? It's a time of intense change. And for a young person, it's a critical crossroads, a moment packed with immense possibility, but also some very real challenges.
We're zeroing in on a very specific age range here, 12 to 15 years old. You know, that's that really unique window where you're not a kid anymore, but not quite an adult. It's when some of the biggest changes in life are happening, physically, intellectually, spiritually, all at once. And make no mistake, this is a time of incredible power. This quote from Bahá'í says it perfectly. It's a time of strength and vigor. And the whole idea here is that you don't try to shut that energy down. You see it for what it is, a precious resource that just needs to be channeled in the right direction. So, this puts young people at a kind of fork in the road. On one side, all that new self-awareness can get turned inward, creating what the text calls an insistent self, focused on me. Or, there's a totally different path. You can channel all that amazing energy outward, towards helping others, towards serving the community.
Okay, so that's the challenge. What's the solution? How do we help them choose that second path? Well, the program's answer is this really powerful idea called spiritual empowerment. And let's be super clear about what this means. This isn't some vague self-helpy concept. Spiritual empowerment is a really practical thing. It's about building up your intellectual and spiritual skills for one specific reason, to serve humanity. It's about getting the tools you need to actually go out and make a difference.
And that is the ultimate goal. The mission is to help young people see themselves not as just watching the world go by, but as the main characters, the active protagonists in the story of creating a better society. It's a huge shift in mindset.
So how in the world does this empowerment actually happen? Well, it all hinges on a really unique kind of mentorship centered on a role they call the animator.
So what is an animator, or anuprerak in Hindi? Well, it's not a teacher, not a boss, not an authority figure at all. It's an older youth, maybe just a few years older, who is basically a true friend and a companion. They're walking the same path, they're just a little further down the road. And this friendship, it's all about creating a space that's joyful, that's supportive. The animator is there to listen, to advise, to comfort, but maybe the most important thing they do is they hold this rock-solid belief in the potential of every single person in that group. They don't hand out answers. They help the youth discover the answers for themselves.
Okay, so we've got the big idea, we've got the mentor, but what do these groups do? What does it look like day to day? It's actually super tangible. Service is the path.
And the whole program is built on this idea that you learn by doing. I mean, it's not enough to just talk about big, noble ideas, right? Because as this quote tells us, the real power of expression, it comes from our deeds, not just our words.
So what the groups do is follow this simple but really powerful cycle. First, they study some uplifting ideas together. Then, they look around and talk about what their community actually needs. From that conversation, they plan a service project. Then they go out and do it. And afterward, they get back together to reflect on how it went.
And this cycle right here, this is the engine that builds that power of expression we were just talking about. This is how you take these spiritual ideas and turn them into something real, something that has an impact in the world. And man, that gives these young people a deep sense of purpose.
So how does all this, the empowerment of one person, the friendship in a small group, the little service projects, how does that connect to anything bigger? Well, it all points toward this incredible grand vision, building a better world. And this vision is, well, it's breathtaking. The source material connects these small, local efforts to what Shoghi Effendi calls the birth of a new world order.
We're talking about a global civilization that is so just, so unified, so peaceful that humanity has literally never seen anything like it before in its entire turbulent history.
And that is the heart of it all. The goal is to help young people see that what they're doing in their own neighborhood isn't just a small, isolated thing. No, it's a vital piece of this massive, positive transformation of the entire planet.
So I guess the thought I want to leave you with is this. What if the key to a better world, the answer to so many of our big problems, what if it lies in something this simple, this profound? Unleashing the inherent moral power and the incredible, selfless energy of our youngest generation. It's a pretty powerful idea to think about, isn't it?